federal partners as part of the new Community Engagement Task Force to ensure coordination of public health resources and proper distribution. An example of this is that we are planning to conduct door-to-door ACE surveys this week in East Palestine in coordination with our local, state, and federal partners. Thank you.
And with that, we'll open it up to questions.
I have a question for FEMA. We know that local families here were given $1,000 from Norfolk, and a lot of people we've spoken to said that money ran out within the first day or two. Is FEMA reconsidering giving any financial aid to families, even though it did not fall under the natural disaster category?
I can't speak to what the company is providing. I do encourage anyone that has any questions for what the company is providing to reach out to the Family Assistance Center, and all of that information is also on these.
I'm trying to get a little bit some more clear information on why the EPA is not looking for additional toxic chemicals like dioxins that could still be emitted from the site. I did ask Administrator Regan today about this, and still the answers just continue to be vague. And he says the EPA will do more to close the information gaps in the data, but how is the EPA going to educate the public on how you guys are doing this air quality testing and why dioxins are not being included?
Several parts to your question. I'll try to answer them all. We are posting air monitoring data publicly on our website, that which doesn't compromise personal information from testing inside homes, but we found no exceedances of volatile organic chemicals in the air testing we've done inside the more than 570 homes we've tested. I would invite you to tour the Tagabus and maybe ask them to go to certain areas if you feel that there are areas that deserve some additional testing, and that's true for any resident in the greater community. Visit with the bus and see what they can do.
Well, aside from the homes, from the site, are you guys looking for other chemicals, not from the train, additional chemicals that could have formed from the combustion and the controlled burn?
We have 15 stationary sites throughout the community that have been monitoring 24/7. Since the vent and burn event, they continue monitoring full time.
But what is it that they're looking for? Like, what other chemicals are they looking for that could be dangerous?
There's a whole suite of chemicals that they can test for. We did specifically, after the vent and burn, look for the primary byproducts of the burning of vinyl chloride, which are phosgene and hydrogen chloride. Dioxin is a secondary byproduct. We didn't find elevated levels of those primary byproducts, which suggested to our scientists that there was not a further risk of dioxin exposure. However, I've been with Administrator Regan today. We were with students at the high school in the morning, visited with some business owners. We've heard from many residents about their concerns about dioxins in the soil. We are exploring what kind of soil sampling might be prudent and available for this community. That will be folded into the work plan that's being developed for the overall community response and remediation from the derailment. I can't give you more specifics right now.
What's the method of the air quality testing? Can you explain more about how it's tested, like what instrument is used?
Yeah, this is where Mark can help me, as our great regional response coordinator, Mark Durno.
Yeah, Mark Durno, EPA. So with the trace atmospheric gas analyzing bus that Deborah referred to, the Tagabus, it's primarily used to sample the air, not just monitor, but sample the air for volatile organic compounds. It could also do what we call analyze for tentatively identified compounds. Those are some of the compounds that you may be interested in seeing. If we see them in the air, recognizing that they shouldn't be, that there are compounds there that shouldn't be there, that may prompt further assessment or further work that would need to be done. So again, not just the volatile organic compounds we're doing, but we're also looking for tentatively identified compounds.
Question.
Deborah, I just want to get this right. You are going to find a way to test for dioxin somewhere down the road? Is that what you were alluding to?
I'm saying it's being looked at in the work plan. I haven't had eyes on it because it hasn't been submitted yet.
Thank you.
Additional questions?
I do have another question. Is it the photo ionization detectors that are being used for air monitoring? And what specific chemicals are volatilizing and aerosolizing?
So, yes, a photo ionization detector is part of the suite of monitoring that we're doing. So when I was talking about the Taga bus earlier, that was air sampling. That's real-time air sampling. The photo ionization detector is a monitoring tool. So that tells us what the entire suite of volatile organic chemicals are. It doesn't tell us specifically what we're looking for. Within those air sampling units, we also have chemical-specific sensors that can pick up some of those compounds that are specific to these types of releases. So, in addition, the photo ionization detector, or the PID, is one of the devices that we use to sample for, monitor the air quality.
There's been some outside experts that say that the PID, those detectors, are not adequate for testing. So are there other ways you guys are looking for testing?
Yes, so that's monitoring. So and the PID gives us a quick snapshot of volatile organics that might be coming off the site. That's what we're not seeing. But again, we do have chemical-specific sensors for sampling, for monitoring. And we also have what we call SUMA canisters that are actually collecting real-time real-time air quality samples. Those are submitted to the lab, and those are analyzed to determine whether or not we have chemicals at lower level that we might be concerned about. And again, we're not seeing anything get above our screening levels at this point.
So these are being tested at the site?
At and around the site, yes.
I have a question about private well water. A lot of people are waiting on these tests to come back. Basically, what is taking so long? They were able to tell whether the municipal water was fine. I know those are deeper injection wells, not where the site, but everyone is worried about their private wells. How many have been tested? Why are the tests taking so long, and what are the findings?
The testing of private wells is done in the Columbiana County Health Department in collaboration with Norfolk Southern. They are taking what are called split samples at the same time from the well and sending them to 2 different labs. I have not seen those results, and I don't know how long it takes to get them, but that's, again, private information provided to the well owner. It's not being made public.
Well, they're telling me that they aren't receiving the data, and they want to know what's taking so long. They want to know if their animals can drink the water, et cetera, whether it's safe. How long before that's expedited so they know?
I would suggest they direct their questions to the Columbiana County Health Department or to Norfolk Southern. They're the ones doing the tests and have the contracts with the labs.
Why would Norfolk Southern be doing the testing when they're the ones who caused this mess? Isn't that like having the fox guard the hen house or having the criminal process the crime scene?
This was an arrangement that occurred prior to US EPA's taking over the whole emergency response and remediation. In the early days, it's Ohio EPA that was doing that. Again, the purpose of split samples is to make sure that the tests are verified from different lab sources. So it's a highly regarded laboratory and sampling technique, but I can't speak to why Norfolk Southern was partnering with Columbiana County.
Okay, thank you, everybody. We'll have this press conference again tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Thank you.